Conflict. Conflict is a serious disagreement, typically a protracted one. People don't like to face the conflict. Most people rather to be a peacemaker than facing the conflict and solve the problem. Years ago, I was a human resources manager working in a hotel. 600 rooms, 800 employees, 8 restaurants. We had this high turnover rate. As a human resources head, one of my jobs is staff recruitment, but also the employee retention was my purpose. One day, there was a young waitress walking to the personnel, and she was crying, and she wanted to leave. So I asked her what happened, and she said her supervisor was shouting at her inside the restaurant. Conflict. The problem is this restaurant also has a huge turnover rate. Apparently there's a management problem. So I decided just to speak to her supervisor directly, even go through a possible conflict. So next day, I walked to the office. I spoke to Mike, who is the supervisor, has earned that reputation being a tough guy. I say, Mike, do you know that Cindy is leaving? Yeah, I know. She's a good employee, but she does not follow the instruction. Mike, there's a few things I'd like you to know. I understand you are a trainer. You have a responsibility to train your employees. However, by shouting at the employees, the 3 things you have to remember. First, you're causing Cindy to leave. And the second, how about the other employees? They'll be frightened. And the third, human resources helping you to hire those new employees, but having those high turnover, I don't think I want to help you anymore because it's useless. And Mike decided to give an apology after a serious talk. Did that solve the problem? Not really. A few weeks later, Cindy walked into the office requesting a transfer. That's no problem for me. I arranged this transfer from a buffet restaurant to a Chinese-style fine dining room, so the problem solved. I never heard anything bad about Cindy anymore. In fact, from time to time, we bump into each other in the hallway, staff canteen, or even elevator. And she said, "Hi, Patsy." I knew she was happy. I'm very happy for her, as well as I'm happy for the hotel to save a good employee. Conflict. There's always a fine line to draw when you want to bump into the conflict or take a piece. How about Toastmasters? In Toastmasters, we also have a guideline. There are 3 taboos. We should not talk about the subject of sex, religion, and politics. Correct? However, a year ago, there was a guy in our chat room, a big line group, constantly, daily posting those political issues that caused some controversials and aggravated some members to leave, including one of our best friends. Now lately, I asked him to leave after 3 times warning. I thought by asking to leave the chat room. As a webmaster, I did a right thing. Funny thing is, some members here think that this subject should be openly discussed before asking to leave. Conflict. Because no one wanted to face that conflict in the first place. Me, as a webmaster, I made that decision. I faced that conflict by asking to leave the chat room. My Toastmaster fellows, when there is a fine line or policy in front of us, it is simple for us to make a decision whether you want to take action towards a conflict or not. By not taking the action, that will literally put us into a catastrophic situation. For example, lately in Taiwan, 46 deaths caused by a fire because nobody really advised those government-related authorities that this building was a lack of the safety features, that actions should have been taken that long time ago. Now, seniors, homeless, poor, they sacrifice in one fire. So where is the fine line for us to draw when we have to make the decision to confront ourselves in front of the conflicts? The answer is very clear, isn't it? So my friends, when it's a policy or there's a fine line, we have to make that decision to be a peacemaker or to fix it and to solve the problem. The best way to say is we have to make the choice, stop avoiding the conflict. Toastmaster of the evening.